think about it. How many times did you say no to something that you felt like you really don't want to do? It can be going for a dinner and you have a baby with you, and the dinner will start very late, and you know that both you and your baby and your husband wouldn't really enjoy your time and you'll be very exhausted. It can be as well when you received a message or someone that want to collaborate with you or do something with you in terms of work wise, and you really wanted to say no, but then you said yes, and you felt constantly when you did that thing that it's really not the right thing for you. It can be as well when you're getting a job offer or opportunity and you said yes, even though you knew somewhere inside deep that saying no, it's the right thing. So, how can we practice it? How can we change it? And how can we start and say no in a different way? So, I want to share with you a little story. When I was very kind of like young mom, and it was around 5.5 years ago when I had my first baby girl. And I remember how my husband really want everyone to come and see her, and he really want everyone to come and kind of like share that bundle of joy and share with us, and celebrate it straight away. But I was after an emergency cesarean, and my little girl was 4 days in the incubes, and it took us a week to get out of the hospital. And the last thing that I wanted to do is to see other people and, in a way, like entertain them or host them and bring them to our house and our place. And I remember it clearly that I did say yes. And I remember it clearly that when people came by and when they came to visit, and I needed to, give them a cup of coffee or maybe some water or offer them some food, I felt so depleted. On that day, I felt a lot of stress. I felt very tired. I felt exhausted. And not only me, my baby as well. And I remember that day clearly because when they left, I remember that all I wanted to do is to go to sleep. And I remember as well that my baby, all she wanted to do is to just be with me. And it kind of like just made everything feel very chaotic for me and her. And then with my second baby girl, it was COVID. And I was so grateful that no one can come and visit us. I was so grateful that I don't need to deal with saying no, and I don't need to deal with maybe sound like, I don't want to share her with everyone else, because that's what happened at the moment. So that's was like, the norm that no one's coming to visit anyone else. And in a way it was okay that no one would have seen her for a long time. And it was the best thing for me and her as well, and for our family, for all of us. And I felt like, oh, that's amazing. Thank God that COVID is here. It was the first time that I really thank God for having COVID. And then with the third child, I thought to myself, why I need to feel bad to say, no, don't come and visit me straight after I'm giving birth. Why I need to feel so bad where I need the time to connect with my baby, to balance my family again, and as well the time to give myself and my body to heal. And then I said to myself, okay, let's give it a go. And with the third child, I remember around a few weeks before my due date, I shared with everyone I cared about that I'm going to do like a golden month or a period of time where I'm taking away from society and I'm just connecting with my baby and my family, and I'm giving ourselves at least a month time just to be together. And I can tell you, I can truly share it from the bottom of my heart that it was the best decision I ever made. And the reason is because I learned how to say it, and I learned as well to communicate my needs, to prioritize my boundaries, to prioritize the thing that I truly need at the moment, and as well my baby and my family. So I want to dive in how to do it because I'm really encouraging you to be able to say no when you feeling like it's not the right thing for you. When you feeling like, there is a little voice that telling you, no, that's not what I need. So let's go to tip number one. My tip number one will be when you are saying no, you actually saying yes to yourself. And what does it mean? You are saying yes to your inner voice, to your feeling, to your need. And you say no to the environment. So you're going within, you're allowing yourself to really give your kind of like intuitions or inner voice or, that feeling of that's what I need to do. You're giving it space and you be able to more connect with yourself and you'll be able to give yourself that space to really and truly communicate your needs. So that's tip number one is saying no. It's actually saying yes to yourself. My tip number two will be when you are saying no, you want to find your inner voice. So, like I said, you actually want to find this like little voice in your mind or little voice from inside or like that thing that popping out when you just know somewhere within and you can't even explain it, that it's not the right thing for you. So that's the beginning of giving it a place. That's the beginning of giving it, allowing it to be and just respecting it. And that's exactly what I did with my third child. I allowed myself and what I need to be in a priority. Now, it might sound a bit like egoistic or a bit like self centered, but if you really be able to communicate it in a way that the other person wouldn't get hurt because of the way you said it and the word that you use, then you'll be able to as well communicate it and the other person will understand it. And the other person will say, okay, that's okay. It will be okay with it. So that's my two tips. And then the third tip will be saying no with an alternative. So, for example, I said to them, I remember when we were invited at the beginning with little children to come for dinner. And I said to them, you know what? I'm more than happy that you come for dinner at 5 p.m. Instead of 6 p.m. It will be better for us. We will be able, or I will be able to go to sleep with the baby and have a rest. You'll be able to stay with the other kids and my husband. And in this way, everyone will be happy. And they accept it because of the way I communicate it and because of the way that I've explained it. And I, in a way, gave an alternative to the option of coming for dinner. So instead of just saying, no, we can't do 6 p.m., I said, maybe we can do 5 p.m. and then I'll be able to go to bed when I am tired and my kids and my husband can stay. And people respect it. And it was amazing because I said it from a place of that's what I need and from a place of that's what will make me feel good, but not only me, but as well my environment and my family. So that's the third thing. And the third thing is actually to say no with an alternative and giving it an alternative to, what you've been suggested or what the other person offered you. And the fourth thing will be being assertive but respectful. So say what you want to say, and say your no in a respectful way. Show a bit of like empathy. Be very clear though of what you need. So I didn't say like something, for example, as look, I could do 5, and maybe 5:30, maybe 5:45, and then maybe we can do dinner at that time. No, I said it in a way of, if we'll do 5 p.m., then I'll be able to go to rest after dinner, and the kids and my husband will be able to stay. So I was like very clear of, okay, the time that I want is 5 p.m. and that's what will be better for us and why it will be better for us. So I think in that way you can be like very clear and direct, but not in a way of like, no, I can't do it, because I think that might be too direct. But in a way of like, you know, communicate in a place of, this is what I can do, that's what I can offer, and putting it out there in a very like showing a bit of empathy and respect to the other person. The next thing will be, in a way, so setting boundaries. Now, why boundaries is very important? Boundaries is very important because um, the art of saying no, it's all about putting like healthy boundaries in place, and it will as well make the other person to respect you and your needs and what you need in that moment, and it will be able to create a better relationship between the two of you. Now, that's like that the beginning and the core of having a very good relationship, and a healthier relationship between you and your friends, or you and your family. And in a way, when we respecting each other needs and we understanding each other needs, is a better way to live together. And it's the beginning for us as mothers to put those boundaries in place, which are very important for you to feel less stressful, for you to feel like you have less of kind of like extra things in your diary and extra things that you really don't want to do, and they are like too much for you. The next tip is start to feel like you are really, your needs and what you feel inside, it's important. So when you say yes all the time, and I was that person, I always said yes. And then my diary kind of like filled with all these meetings and doing things for other people. And I felt like I'm just choking, like it's just too much and it's too stressful. And I felt the burden. I just felt like it was not something that I was able to really take on myself. And when I'm looking back, I know that because I said yes to everything and I didn't put my needs as well as part of the equation, I I felt it. I felt it everywhere. I was like more anxious, more annoyed. And you know how it's like, we're doing it every time. Like we might take on board that volunteering at school, or we might take that extra meeting at work, or that extra conference, or maybe we'll take that extra play date or going out, or etc. So we're always taking things and we're not sometimes thinking about ourselves and our needs. So I'm really encouraging you to put yourself in the equation as well and really think about, what do you need, and not just what the other person needs. And my next tip will be that when we say no, we actually reducing it, reducing the stress, reducing the overburden, and we can check it all the time. We can check our diaries, like I said, and have a look there. Have a look in your diary right now, even. Check your diary and see. Do you have in your diary times for yourself? Or do you have in your diary a lot of slots and time for others? Check your diary and see, do you have a balance between the two? Do you have at least like, let's say 20% things that you're doing for yourself and 80% things that you're doing for others? Or maybe 30/70. And if you really practice it already, then you can go to 50/50. 50 things that you're doing for yourself and 50 things that you're doing for others. Have a check, have a look. Do it on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. Check if it's something that you're really doing. And I'm encouraging you to do it because it's really important for setting healthy boundaries. And the art of saying no and healthy boundaries helping us to live a better life. It's helping us to listen to our inner voice, to be able to put our needs first, and to be able to feel better with ourselves. The next thing is to use the word I. So when you're communicating with the other person, so you will feel like you're respecting his needs as well. Say, I feel like it will be better for us to come at 5 p.m. for dinner rather than etc. because the kids are tired and whatever it is. Or it can be as well, I feel like this work at the moment is not the right thing for me. Maybe I will contact you in around a month when my schedule will be clear, and then we can speak about, way to work together. So really put the word I, try to be, like I said before, clear and respectful, and then the other person will understand it as well. Now, I think at the end of the day, when we saying no, like I said at the beginning, it's not that we said no, but it's the way that we said it. So really remember those tips. Try and say no, and remembering that you're actually saying yes to yourself, to your inner voice. You're giving it a space. Remember that you're starting and create your self-value. You're feeling like you are part of the equation. You're feeling like you are important to your needs and your wishes. As well, when the way that you communicate more in an I, try and be more clear, show some empathy and respect, and say it in a way that the other person will understand you. And remember, saying no is okay. You can say no. It's all right to do so. I hope that was helpful, and I really would love to work with you or come to your mother group and really, help you out and give you a bit of like a sessions of how we can put ourselves more in the equation of our life and give ourselves more space. So I'm here if you have any questions or if you would like to comment and tell me what you think. I'll be more than happy to hear. And I'm sending you that you have a beautiful week ahead. And thank you so much for listening.